And I guess now is just as good a time as any that let everybody know that we've been like really, really procrastinating for race season.
You think?
But I don't know if people's noticed that, but we've had LW step up, especially Chet with LW, and he's offered to build us a buggy for this season.
Yeah, we've been. So go back to last year. I'm gonna tell the whole story. Go back to last year. We had on the show we talked about Gilbert Hollingsworth building us another buggy.
Right.
We took Gilbert our stuff in Wins Wildcat. March.
Yeah.
Yeah, took him our stuff in March. 1st of August. Still not a stick of pipe. Nothing had been done. So we went over and picked everything up. Got with Chet. Uh, Chet has been. They've started a couple. I don't think he was real happy with the way they were coming out. But now we've actually got what looks to be a buggy.
Right.
It's still a long way from being done, but it is a whole lot closer than anything else we've done had so far.
Right. And that's like our whole mentality has been if it's meant to be, it'll be, and we just kind of put it out in the universe and let
Yeah,
it go.
I wanted, and not that I didn't want Chet to build it, but I wanted to go back with Gilbert because Gilbert had the old red buggy that he built was tough.
Right.
Close to home, I could go over and see it and run parts back and forth, and it was just going to be easier for me. And really, really wish that would have worked out. It didn't. Not going to say anything bad or throw anybody under the bus. It just didn't come through. So Chet's got us a solid, what looks like a pretty solid rig.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And like I understand that too. It just makes things a whole lot easier when you can just throw some parts in the truck and
Yeah, I mean
10,
he was
15 miles down the road. But it's um, that's the thing about finding anybody trying to find a cage builder or somebody to do fab work. Like it's terrible when they're hours away, as far as you needing to do something but you can't because they're hours away.
and
But
I don't know what it is about fab guys, man. It's just none of them will give you a straight answer.
well, I'll be honest, you fab guys need to get your shit together. I'm
Golly.
just gonna put it out there because uh, I've had the worst luck out of all of them, just damn near about. But I could go on a tangent about 4 or 5 hours about the fab guys that have screwed me over in the past, and it's coming one day. I mean I believe I'm just going to have to let loose at the lips and just start telling everybody about all the ones that owe Dan Carter money for shit that they've been paid for and not done. But unfortunately, that's in the past. It's water on the bridge, and whatever happens happens.
It
But
is.
LNW has been super, super good to us, and they've done what they've said they're going to do. But the main thing is, I understand that this is Chet's, it's his first baby that he's pushing out
Yeah.
for UTV, and he wants everything to be done right. And that's why I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And it's
Eh,
he's been communicative. He's been accessible anytime we have questions or need to talk. He's always been just a phone call away.
yeah, and
So
I don't think he's not. When this started, um, he said that he was going to do it. He didn't give us a timeline, and we didn't really push him. Um, you know, but he's been honest,
right,
and that's all from these fab guys. Um, if you can, if it's going to be 2 weeks, say 2 weeks. If it's going to be 6 months, say 6 months.
that's right. That's all you got to do. And it's like the thing about it, and then this is coming from me, a business owner myself. Your stress that you take on as a business owner, 90% of it comes from what you tell your customers.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell them a deadline, or if you tell them, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you decide otherwise, that's where that stress comes from.
Well,
But
it's all
like I said,
self-induced.
right. Yeah, absolutely. But man, it's making me hot under the collar, man. You talking about all these fab guys. I got a few I'm gonna strangle one day.
Listen, I I've built a few cages. We've built some full size rock crawlers, and I know it's a lot of work. It
Right,
is. Um, and I'm not saying that some of these guys don't do excellent work. They do. They do
right,
really good work. They just aren't very honest.
right,
That's the frustration with me is, um, if I tell somebody at Rock Life, if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my best to do it within the time frame which I told them I was going to do it. And I, as a business owner, cannot stand for, I don't know, I just can't, in good conscience, tell somebody something that I'm going to do something knowing
right,
that I'm full of shit.
right.
And that's just the frustrating part, and that's what I've run into with a lot of man. There's just so much demand for all this stuff right now.
Yeah,
Um, you would get, I feel like, all the business you wanted, even if you were slow,
right,
as long as you communicated that.
right.
You would stay as busy as you wanted to be. But I don't know. That's I didn't mean to go down that road. But
I didn't mean to get all that bent out of shape, but man, it's like that brought up a bunch of old wounds.
mm, it was frustrating, and it still is frustrating.
Yeah,
But when the buggy gets done, it gets done.
yeah,
Um,
and that's
and
something.
he'll want it out of his way soon enough. Like
Well,
he's
that's
hollering at us, we're holding him up now.
right, and I would rather it be that way.
Yeah.
Like I know we're probably about 3 hours away from LW, and I've got to take some stuff to him this weekend. So, and it's a good thing that he's eager to get it out of the way. We're eager to get it finished, but realistically, we're going to get the car back. We're going to do some testing, tuning with it. I would like for that thing to. I would like to know that thing is exactly where we want it before we strip it back down and powder it.
Yeah, I would too. That is a slippery slope though, because I know how that goes.
Right.
It'll never get done. We get in it, get comfortable. Oh, we'll tear it down next week. Oh, well, we got a little. Well, maybe no. Let's do this. But we'll get there, and
Oh yeah.
it's a good looking rig. I don't know if you want to hold on to the photographic evidence.
Yeah. I mean that's up to you if you want to. I would say, if you want to take what we've been sent and just put it on the YouTube version of this podcast, just to
We'll
at
overlay
the
it.
end.
It's a good looking rig. I
Yeah.
think for his first. Now listen, guys. I don't know if Chet. I don't know if he's building buggies. You know what I mean? I don't know if
Right.
that's a thing. But he is at the
Right.
present time. But I don't know if that's something that they're going to continue to do, or if he's just using it as some R&D and developing some chassis builder parts
Right.
out of it. So don't blow him up.
Right. Absolutely. And that's something that him and I talked about. And I think as of now, it's more or less just like a little bit of an R&D project. We are using some of their parts that they're developing. I know that he said a lot of this stuff that he's building for this buggy is one off, but it's also incorporating some of their other products that they're putting out, such as I don't know exactly what this piece is called, but all I know is it is basically the drive shaft,
It's the cross member.
cross
Yeah,
member.
yeah, yeah. It's that
Uh,
removable. You Pro XP guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's the piece that runs across the carrier bearing sets on, where you can
right,
unbolt it. We got one of those in the chassis.
right. So that's part of their research and development. He said that he wants this thing to be to where you can take the drive shaft out of it, get to the cross bearing or whatever from top, bottom, front, whatever. Like he just like I said, it's more of an R&D project. So like you said mentioned, don't blow him up, but because these parts are going to be available to the public, sooner or later.
Yeah, I think he had talked about making a builder's kit, with some throttle pedal mounts and
Right.
maybe seat mounts and different things like that. I don't know. We'll see how that turns out in the future. But I like the rig. We'll put some pictures of it up. He's barking at us, waiting on parts. So we're gonna get him some stuff headed that way.